6'5", 280 pounds, number one defensive end in the nation. And when I watch his film, I said this before, this is J.J. Watt reincarnated as a 17-year-old young buck just ready to destroy any offensive lineman in front of him. Obviously, Clemson just picked him up. We felt like he was a really good shot at getting committed to Clemson, or Clemson picking him up as a commit. What do you think about Bryan now that you know he's a Tiger?
Well, I'm going to echo a lot of your sentiments. This is a big guy, an explosive guy who's simply not supposed to move the way he moves. I think one thing special about Clemson is they find these players, and let's be honest, Bryan Bresee is no secret, okay? But when they don't play good competition, and I don't think he plays real good competition, kind of like, Christian Wilkins, a lot of those teams up north, the competition is weak a lot of times. So it's really hard to judge how good of a player they might be sometimes. So you have to look for those specific tools, the explosiveness, the use of the hands, the size that you can't teach, and the speed, of course. He has a really explosive first step, uses his hands well. He's going to be a dominant player. I think he can be a contributor, if not somebody that is a very good player year one. I love the upside of this kid. I think his upside is a defensive tackle, like I think I mentioned on the last show. I think he can fill out and be a DT with all the defensive ends we're about to land, or hopefully about to land. Anyways, we'll talk about a couple of those later. But yeah, this kid has All American written all over him.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just amazing to see his film, just how much bigger he is than everybody else around him, and those are the things you really can't coach is size
Right.
and speed. Those are things that they just kind of have to have already. You can build them up, you can beef them up, and you can work on their footwork, but you can't make somebody 6'6" or 6'5", 280 at 17 years old, 18 years old. You can't make somebody like that. And this guy is definitely that. Some people say Ndamukong Suh. I think he's a little bit, more versatile than that. I don't
Yeah.
see him going to be a defensive tackle or an interior guy. There's some guys on the list that we're looking at still that we might bring up later on in the show that could be in the interior defensive line, which makes it even scarier for that, for when they get on campus. But I think I would like to see him at the end, especially if he can fight with Xavier Thomas with his last year of eligibility would be. I mean, I'm almost scared. Just even I can't even imagine it. I don't know what opposing defenses are going to do, but just reloading and as they say, right, cycling out, right? We're cycling
Right.
out, good players and cycling in good players, right? So
That's right.
some people like to claim that a couple years ago that Clemson was cycling out. I don't
Yeah.
want to name names, but it doesn't appear
Yeah.
to be the case.
Yeah, that's not a thing at all. Especially not with Bryan Bresee. I mean, he absolutely killed the Nike regional opening this past week. I mean, he did. He was just dominating players. Using crazy spin moves, just ways that he is not supposed to move at that size. I'll say it again. I mean, it's just absolutely impressive. This kid is going to be an absolute star. High draft pick when he leaves, of course. Uh, Making sure he doesn't, of course, if he doesn't get injured or anything like that, knock on wood, please knock on anything you can find right now, because we want to see this kid and what he can do, because he can be dominant as a Tiger, and he may be that way from day one.